here's Brody Brazil.
Bay FC is the professional women's soccer team that started up last year here in Northern California, and it's an interesting situation. They don't have an official home like a stadium to call home where they play all of their matches, but they're about to get an unreal home in terms of their practice facility and headquarters that they are about to build literally in the middle of San Francisco Bay. That's Treasure Island right there. And you can see the Bay Bridge connecting San Francisco here on the top. There's downtown. Oakland's on the other side. You are right in the middle of San Francisco Bay on Treasure Island. And I don't know the acreage of Treasure Island. It's significant. There is some space. There has never been much going on out there. I suppose that with the bridge and sometimes traffic, it's not the optimal spot to be, but now they're building high-rise residential properties, and I know more commercial opportunities out there. So it hasn't been vacant, but now we're starting to see a lot of development. And now we're going to see the brand new team headquarters of Bay FC literally in the middle of San Francisco Bay. This is so cool. I've always obviously driven across that bridge, or as it drove across that bridge, and looked over at Treasure Island and thought, man, that is prime real estate, a prime opportunity. There's nothing really interesting or cool out there. This is pretty awesome for Bay FC. The fact that they'll not only get brand new modern headquarters, but it will be in the scenery of, look at that right there. And there is land and space to grow. And you can see some of those new buildings that have just gone up there right along the western shore and waterfront of Treasure Island right there. And they've done a lot of work on the infrastructure of the off-ramps and on-ramps from the bridge, because the bridge goes from the eastern span to a tunnel and then to the western span. But before all that, you have to have the off-ramps and on-ramps on the island. It's just a little crammed, but they've redone everything. So the infrastructure is all in place, and now something like this. I mean, the tower of the eastern span of the Bay Bridge as the backdrop there. How cool is that? And they are going to have some bay weather out there, right? Like being on Treasure Island, you're going to get some fog, you're going to get some wind, you're going to have a lot of, pullover days where you want to stay warm. But I love the fact that they're building what looks to be 3 fields, some other training areas, and then also this team headquarter and facilities property. Here's what Bay FC said via a statement. Bay FC, the professional soccer franchise representing the Bay Area in the National Women's Soccer League, NWSL, announced today Olson Kundig, an award-winning architectural and interior design firm, as the architect of record for the Bay FC training facility located on Treasure Island, the center of the Bay, literally. The world-class training facility offers iconic, and I do mean iconic here, 360-degree views from San Francisco's financial district to the Golden Gate Bridge, the North Bay, Mount Tamalpais, the Bay Bridge, and the East Bay. Bay FC's new home is designed to empower athletes, support staff, and create opportunities for community and youth connections, marking the next step in the team becoming a global sports franchise. The facility features clear circulation pathways and a balance of private and communal spaces, from 3 training fields to dedicated recovery areas, ensuring seamless transitions between training, preparation, and downtime for both athletes and staff. Sounds like a place that you'd want to hang out in the downtime. Beyond the pitch, the facility will invest in top-of-the-line resources to support athletes' long-term success, including career development, educational resources, and business training. Here's a quote from Brady, Stewart, the CEO of Bay FC. In order to be a global sports franchise, the team needs its own home and dedicated facility. Tom Kundig and the Olson Kundig team understand our priority of player-centricity. I got to use that word more often. Player-centricity, and also design an inspirational and stunning space which reflects a sense of home for our players and staff. End quote. Now, I was a little bit curious because I had heard about the soccer club from San Francisco. There's the Glens, both on the men's and women's side. They were also doing a facility on Treasure Island, and that has been completed. But to my understanding, that's only one artificial turf pitch and several other smaller spaces. I believe that is entirely separate here from what Bay FC have already done or what they're planning on now doing. So I was a little bit confused by that 2 soccer clubs and teams would have their headquarters on Treasure Island. But look, there's land, there's space. It's probably zoned for something like this, if that makes sense. You can't have high rises and commercial and residential everywhere. You need some open space. maybe some of this is not buildable on in terms of like a foundation. Like they created Treasure Island. It was human made for, I think, the World's Fair or something like that in the 20s. I should know this as a Bay Area person. But anyway, bottom line is Bay FC still searching for a permanent stadium to call home. And that'll probably happen. By the way, right now they're playing at the Earthquakes home in San Jose, PayPal Park. But you'd have to think that somewhere, someday, along the peninsula, maybe around San Francisco, they will find a proper space and build a proper stadium. And I look forward to that. But in the meantime, I mean, this is such a cool addition for them and for the Bay Area and for women's sports. I think that this could draw just more than players to their team and more than having a nice facility, the youth level, the community level. Like there's a lot of cool things that could be done with this facility. So congrats to Bay FC. I will hopefully get to be and see and be around it and tour that facility someday on Treasure Island. Thumbs up down below for this video. Helps me, this video, and this channel. And don't forget to subscribe so I can see you back here next time.